Hi, Harley here with another Star Trek Fleet Command video. Today looking at the situation with the TOS officers. Part 1 we saw Kirk, Spock and Uhura jump into the game, being 2 epics and a rare, and now we see new rares, McCoy and Sulu. Where Scotty and Chekhov is, nuclear vessels, please be a officer ability or captain ability. Thank you, Scopely. We don't know, but yes. We've got some new officers, and they're all a bit of fun. Initially, I'm going to look at the first officer we got in part 1. This was obviously Uhura, which we see she's got some good abilities, and they're all pretty much based around PvP, so fighting other people in game, reducing the crit chance. So obviously this then reduces down, similar to what like Saru would do, and Khan or someone else has to try and bring it back up, which is fine. But this officer ability, shield mitigation, means it dumps them more basically onto the hull, which obviously can help in damage. Spock is a very good officer for defense on stations because his captain ability not also helps increase shields to your ship that he's on. He actually does it to all the ships in the station. So he's like basically like a huge big defense bubble, which is obviously a huge impact. Now we'll look at the exact stats afterwards, but he himself, for people defending on raids, looks like a very decent offer to be added, obviously with Carol on another ship as captain with her power energy damage reduction. That's a very good setup. He himself obviously also reduces the damage done by crits. So if actually somebody does do a crit, the actual amount of damage done is reduced, and this obviously stacks over his officer ability. So again, a good point here to have when in game. I am a bit curious why he's now actually an epic, where previously he was just a rare, but obviously his abilities are quite powerful, but also quite specific when using a station. Obviously using him outside obviously also helps as captain, but yeah, he's not as big as he was before. Now we're looking at Kirk, obviously the captain before, and again an epic here. He has a decent captain ability, which is to increase the damage done by energy. Now this synergy goes up quite a lot, so it is very interesting to use this. So ships like the Enterprise, the Valdor, or others that are energy based or have a lot of energy weapons, Kirk as a captain with his ability, with his full synergy, makes for a very good officer. And obviously his officer ability is him triggering morale to obviously activate all these abilities. Now, yeah, it's another Federation group as well. People are probably complaining about that we've got more Federation officers and more costs on Federation credits, which is fine. And I see that, and I understand that too, because for me also I'm querying, well, what about my Klingon and Romulan officers? Are we going to get more officers there? Are we going to be able to use credits up on them? Yeah, it's good to have the ships, but also wouldn't mind having some other officers in the game. Maybe that's coming in the future, but for now, obviously related to the original series, it was based around the Enterprise and the Federation outlook on things. So yeah, anyway, here's the officers. As you see, they've all got very high stats. I mean, Kirk's captain ability stacks up to 150%, Uhura stacks up to 210% minus, and then obviously we have Spock's captain ability also stacking up to 300%, which is a huge bonus, which is nice. We did actually get 2 other officers in the game. These two, Dupont and Macon. Sorry. Now, they're both in the survey miners, but if you look at them and in the description of the game, they still look like Section 31 officers, and they're still described as such. I don't know if it's been changed. Are they undercover? Have they changed jobs? I don't know. But as a whole, good officers for G3 mining. Also protective cargo with Dupont, and Isogen now with Makinen for that. With it also, we got some lovely research in the first part to help out, in particular in the Galaxy Tree, the pre-Ops 40 players. Now, some of them you have to buy, obviously, but some of them you can build up yourself. And I said this in my podcast, they're quite cheap to do. So I would actually honestly say go out and do them. All these research nodes that you can do without costing the primes. I mean, one prime you got for free in the last arc, so you could have got at least one of them sorted. You can actually go and get then quite a good use of your Devore now, more returns on your Borg nanoprobes, and a faster and cost reductions on your Franklin. So go and do them. They are worth it. Now, flicking over to part 2, we've only got 2 new officers, and like I said, we're still missing Scotty and Chekhov. Nuclear vessels, maybe part 3? I don't know. But we're going to have a look at, obviously, Sulu first. Now, Sulu has possibility of triggering morale himself for 1 round. He actually has synergy up to, I think, 75%. I'll see that afterwards. But here he has the ability of applying a critical pin. Now, people are saying, is this cumulative, like what Khan is? In which case, obviously, he would outweigh Khan massively because 6% base is huge. But yeah, McCoy's got the defense dodge with health. Just a straightforward flat thing, not requiring morale, so that's good. So you can add him as officer, as a captain, and he's going to help out with stuff. And obviously then increasing the officer stats on top of that. So a combination here. So he's quite a good officer as well. But if you're going to look at the overall stats of these two, you see Sulu goes up to 15% by the end, and 75% thing. Check 500% for Leon Miko's captain ability and 100% on his officer ability. So all in all, also good officer to have and good helping in relation to PvP stats to go with it, or just general hostile hunting or whatever you wish to use them for. So yeah, it looks good. We also got an addition thing of a second builder. Finally, we've seen this in the roadmap, and basically you can actually build 2 things at once. Now, the research double build is not out. There are complications with it. They have mentioned that in the Discord. So that's still to come. But for now, you can now get the opportunity of building 2 buildings at once, side by side. Now, you may want a longer one and then have a smaller one. So you can maybe do 2 generators in the time you do your academy. But yeah, it costs. Some content creators are giving out keys. Go look for them. Go and check them out. But yeah. The other part was we got in the second part was a load of research now heavily related to Ops 40 plus, so post Ops 40, where you got to do also Apex construction. So you can use Apex coins here, tokens to increase that, which is obviously good for grade 3, but I think also mainly grade Ops 40 plus on grade 4 stuff. But here you need your defense strategy to get going. So you got to do all these storage and security capacity, which you probably haven't done. So get out and do them. And then do your defense strategy so that you can obviously then go on and start to do this massive help now in the grade 4 economy for Ops 40 plus range, reducing costs of we got some primes. So bottlenecks of ship parts, get a prime spin on that like you did with grade 3s. But ships costs, repair speeds, building speeds, everything is all in here. So all in all, there's a lot to do here, and there's a lot of research. And no, we haven't got an event ship. We still haven't got it. And that was said before. Are we going to see one in part 3? I don't know. We also, though, got these ugly worms. Now, my jellyfish against a worm, he did okay here against a 39, but against a 40, yeah, not very good. These things are quite strong. Now, they should be, I think, linked to an event which goes on, which allows you to get the recruits in the special recruit chest. And we'll carry on. But the thing about them all, there's the 3 ship types in each of each type. So you're always going to see an interceptor, explorer, and a battleship. And they're always going to have the same firing pattern, predominantly energy. So you use Chen. The 46s or anything going up obviously then applies more shots per round. So you're obviously going to get more damage taken. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep well, keep safe, and we'll see what else is coming along in this arc.